Democracies deliver. And Modi's India, the biggest example of this. Words from no less than American President Joe Biden. In a massive impromptu praise of India's pandemic response, Joe Biden lauded the Modi government at the beginning of the Quad summit, while slamming autocratic China's abject failure in the fight against COVID-19.
Sources say that before the Quad summit began and President Biden made his opening remarks, he intervened to point out and congratulate India and Prime Minister Modi for his successful handling of the COVID-19 pandemic in comparison to China, which is a country comparable in size to India. He said that this only goes on to show and demonstrate to the world that democracies can deliver.
Newly elected Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese said vaccines supplied by India to other countries have made a massive difference on the ground. While Japanese Prime Minister Kishida said that Indian-made vaccines delivered under the Quad Vaccine Initiative were received with gratitude in Thailand and Cambodia. Let's now talk about China, India's neighbor. Both countries can be compared as far as the size of the population goes, and that was what was done at the Quad summit. China, that arguably gave the world SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes COVID-19, seems to be floundering in its response to the pandemic even after almost 3 years of the first cases surfacing in China's Wuhan. Its zero COVID policy has clearly failed, and it's only led to harassment for its own people. Babies as young as 3 days old being put through RT-PCR tests. Reluctant children also being put through these tests day after day, every single day. The Chinese people are out on the streets begging for their kids to be sent back to school. Millions living in COVID quarantine camps forcefully and shelling out money for it. Those who are stuck at home, crying for help. The country has not just imposed the most brutal lockdown, but also failed to vaccinate the vulnerable. Over 50% of the elderly in China above the age of 80 have not been vaccinated. India, on the other hand, maximized its well-oiled machinery to ensure rapid vaccinations, rolling out highly effective vaccines to children and boosters, or the third dose for all.
When we look at the COVID pandemic, India has done excellently well, barring the second wave when we were caught unawares, as many other countries. The best program in India was vaccination. We have till today provided close to 190 crore total doses of vaccines, of which 73% of the population is at least having one dose and 64% of the population is fully vaccinated.
The World Health Organization has by far not commented on rights violations of women, men, children and animals in China, but said that China's zero COVID is not sustainable. India, on the other hand, has done stellar work on all aspects of the pandemic response, from focusing on improving healthcare to having an effective communication strategy directly from the top.
The vaccination campaign is an excellent example of effective public health communication that led to good outcomes. There was a legacy of good public health communication as regards vaccination in India for decades. With the pulse polio vaccine campaigns, with the MMR vaccine campaigns, and with the COVID-19 vaccine.
After the disastrous second wave, India was quick to mend course, learning from the shortcomings and eventually winning the world's praise. With Poulomi, Saha in Tokyo, Sneha Mordani in Delhi for India Today.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.